Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Yay. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Over 25. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what the previous episode was. I'm sure it was good. And thank you so much for the love on that one. Today on set we have Madame Jules, myself, just Ivy Africa, and we have Madame Lornzie Gatabaki. Shiki's still missing. You guys know by now, I hope. If not, and if you're new here, I have to explain that we do shoot our episodes in bulk sometimes, and if one person is missing on one day, that means they will miss around maybe 2 to 3 episodes depending on our schedule. Shiki, feel better soon, and we can't wait to see you on set the next time. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Shiki would have really screamed, it's free. If she was sitting here somewhere, it's absolutely free of charge, and we do value your support. 150K and growing. I can't wait to get to 200K, and we will keep celebrating those milestones. Here we talk about everything that surrounds women and men over the age of 25. So, and nowadays over the age of 30, and pretty soon over the age of 35.
Or at the age, please, not over. Please.
Yeah.
We'll be at 25.
At 25.
I mean, at 35.
My friend, that time is very near. We're about to close on our youth brackets. Today, if you can see from the title, we are discussing relationships. One of our favorite topics around here is relationships. And we're thinking, okay, everyone is always very quick to say, red flag, that's a red flag. At your job, that's a red flag. In that relationship, that's a red flag in your partner. What about green flags? Because we like to keep things nice and positive here on Over 25. So when we're brainstorming, what we're discussing, like, how about green flags in relationships or in dating? And to me, a green flag is, let's look at the lights of, let's look at traffic lights. When it's red, it means stop, don't go. Maybe there's a car passing, whatever. Orange, amber means get ready. Green means it's good to go to the other side of the road, or in relationships, good to go to the next step of the relationship. Is that what you guys consider green flags in relationships stroke dating? If you were to define it, how would you do that, Jules?
Just what you've said.
Yeah.
Obviously, a green flag for me would be something that is a positive and something to take note and to appreciate. It's like the pro to the con. Well, you shouldn't have a pro to every con, but it's just a pro. Yeah. It's just a win. That's how I describe it. Yeah.
I'd use the same traffic light analogy. Yeah, you've explained it perfectly.
Oh, good. Wow. Perfectly. So let's get to it very quickly. There's no need to keep hurrying over that issue. So who wants to start by telling me a green flag that they have noted? And if you've ever if you can remember an aha moment that you had while you were in that relationship or you were dating, like, oh my God, when they did this, this was such a beautiful green flag for me that encouraged me to move on. Lornzie?
Well, I would start by saying, a green flag for me would be like when someone is engaged in that relationship, when they say they'll call you at 6 p.m., they call you. If they're late, they'll apologize. It really kills the anxiety and the not knowing, like, is this guy really into me or is this girl really into me? So I think if someone is super engaged, if they're at work, they'll communicate and tell you, not someone who keeps you guessing, the whole time. You're like, I don't think this guy is really wants to do this. And randomly, 2 days later, they text you back and you're like, I was expecting your message 3 days ago, something like that. So someone who's super engaged and you can tell they want to be doing what it is they're doing with you, I think that's a proper green flag. Yeah.
So would that be like open communication as well, or clear communication, or also engagement would mean that even when we are talking, you're engaged in what it is that I'm saying, you're asking me the right questions, you want to get to know me better, like what is I'm engaged in.
I think I would say both ways. I think it would work both ways, but also like because you can have someone who's super engaging on phone, and then when you meet them, there's zero engagement, and you're like, it's not working. So I think for me, I would have to tick both boxes. We are talking and communicating positively, but then also when I meet you, the rapport is there and it's good. So I would say both.
And what I've liked about also what you've said is, me, I like someone also who can match my energy. Because I can say that if I'm ready for a relationship, whatever, I'm very engaging.
Yeah.
I will text you, I will call you, I will make time to see you. So you have to be able to match my energy. If not, have a little bit more.
Yeah.
So like me as the passowee, I feel like, you know, like this is actually, you know, I don't know. That's what I would say to that, Jules.
Well, first of all, I like how you said we really focus on red flags, but it's good to identify red flags, but also you need to know in yourself. So once you've identified a red flag, do you have a plan in action, a plan in place that you know when I start noticing red flags, this is what I'll do. Because what we do is we notice the red flags, and then instead of, we don't know what to do, so we shove it in their face. You don't reply messages. You don't need. It's like also you need to, as much as you have a plan to. I mean, you've said I need to identify red flags. It's like you identify alafu. You know about green flags. I'm happy that we are talking about green flag because it's good to, when you're dating, you know it's like what you want. Especially now that we're older, I think we date differently and we notice different things or things that maybe we didn't even think when we were young were valuable. Now they are so valuable to us. So for me, a green flag would be somebody who I'm seeing is doing, let me just give an example. There's somebody that I was seeing and they were like, oh, I can't talk tomorrow. We can't hang out tomorrow at 2 p.m. because I'm going for therapy. And I was like, okay, that's cute, you know? So for me, that's a green flag. Somebody who is taking care of themselves and doing the work to take care of their mental wellness. Does everybody need to go for therapy? I'm not saying everybody needs to go for therapy. It doesn't mean if your partner is not going for therapy, then they don't have a green flag. I'm just saying this is somebody who's taking steps to take care of themselves rather than just complaining. Because I've been in another situation where I could tell this person I was with definitely needed some help professionally. But they just wouldn't take it, even if it's offered to them. So yeah, I think taking care of yourself. When I see somebody saying they're going for therapy at TCG, or on Sundays I go for walks, CG I meditate, I journal, those things are not corny. Those are things that I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
That means that when things are tough, you have tools in place to deal with them positively. And also you can be a positive influence to me. Because of that, I went back into therapy. Yeah. So I was like, I'd taken a break for a while.
Because of meeting this person who was in therapy.
Yeah, because of meeting this person who was in therapy, and then just the conversations they'd have around it.
Because you have to match their energy.
Exactly.
They're being a very beautiful, positive
Exactly. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go back into therapy. And I was also going through a lot of changes in my life at that time. So I'm like, why am I insisting that I can handle this shit on my own? And I know I can't. There's too many things happening. And I was like, good. So
that's like a double whammy, because it's like they're also someone who helps you stay positive.
Yeah. So for me, that's a green flag. And not only by the way, in relationships, romantic relationships, even in friendships.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, when somebody is taking care of them. And I honestly think this could be green flags even in
general relationships.
Friendships.
Yeah.
Friendships.
Siblings.
Siblings.
Romantic. Yeah.
When you see somebody's like, yo, I'm going for therapy, I don't know. I'm actually surprised that there's people out there who still have a negative attitude towards therapy. Yes. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, hey, I'm not that badly off.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, yo, I was not that badly off. But sometimes you just need tools. Tools to be able to deal with life. Yo, what's up? That's our Jogo. He must show himself every time we're here at this particular location.
He's always here. Jules, I have a question. So if someone tells you they're in therapy, do you ask them why? And the reason I'm asking is, what if someone says something like,
something you don't think you can be able to accommodate to handle?
Exactly. Do you normally ask why? Or should we? Maybe, you know. I'm like, why are you in therapy? So
should you ask that first
And also,
time?
do you even know whether they'd be honest?
Yeah.
Especially if it's just a budding thing.
Actually, that's a good question. I can't remember if I asked why. Why? But I think we talked about it. Because there was nothing particular. They had depression kitambo, or had a bout of depression or whatever. So, no, actually, I don't think I did. Did I? We must have discussed it. Because you know when you're talking to somebody, how conversations weave in and out of each other. but also be ready for the response if you ask. Because you see, also, I don't want to create a narrative that you ask why, so that you know, so that you can place judgment on somebody's response. At the end of the day, if they're taking care of them, they're doing their work. Yeah, so maybe the question should not be why. It should be. It's for you to figure out if you can deal with their trauma, the trauma that they've had. Maybe if you ask, what are the traumas you've ever faced in your life that you think can affect your day-to-day life, then you can be like, all right. But it has to be a conversation where, whatever you say can affect whether we're going to be together or not. Cindy, because it's good to ask these questions and find out, I can't deal with the trauma that you've had. Maybe I can't be the support system that you need me to be as your friend or as your partner.
Yeah, but just going off something that we were discussing on another episode, like almost like entering marriage and finding out, you need to know everything about this person. If they have a debt, you need to figure out. So is it the same thing, Exactly like you're saying,
why?
Before you are entangled with someone, you need to figure out why they're in therapy. Is it a trauma that you're willing to accommodate if you decide to date this person? So maybe the question is maybe when to ask it. Maybe you can't like outrightly ask it on that first day, but it should be something that, since it's something you need to discuss. Definitely. It's not something you're like, oh, you're in therapy, okay, kill it there.
Yeah.
You go for therapy, me, I'll go for therapy. It's something that has to be discussed. So, like, maybe they killed someone, Okay, sorry to be so dark. It's true though.
I'm not letting my children near you because of murder.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, maybe you're reformed or me, I don't know. But
it's something you definitely need to discuss.
Yeah.
What about you, Ivy? Green flag?
I think just going off the way you said, I like it when someone says at 2 p.m. I have therapy. I don't know whether this is 2 points, 1 point, or 1 point, but someone who knows exactly what they want, and someone, because of being so aligned with what it is that they want for their future and for themselves, has become a creature of habit and a creature of schedules. And so during the week, you will never find them Monday to Friday between 6 a.m. Like you every morning, you'll go for your workout. Like me, on the weekends, Sundays, you might not really find me because, I'm hanging out with my children. They have a social event that they have to attend every, let's say, week just to build their networks. For me, it's a green flag when someone knows themselves to the point where they know exactly what they want. Have you ever dated someone who speaks in years? Like 3 years from now, know me this well. I know that this is where I want to build a house. I don't know. So they're so in tune with themselves and in tune with their habits and daily schedules that they just know exactly what they want. And then what is really green for me is that they'd want to have you fit within that schedule that they've built for themselves for their life. That you can see, wow, it's a tough schedule, but they're making time for you, and they see you in that same schedule 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. You can adapt and reverse. But I think it stems from you knowing exactly what you want. Because if you're confused in this dating game, you can, as you said, you'll be able to, you'll compromise on a lot. I don't know if I'm articulating myself.
No, you are.
Or rather, that's what makes sense to me. Not I don't know. I think that's actually what makes sense to me. I love creatures of habits, and not just in dating, but even just in friendships and whatever. Like this is my habit. This is my weekly habit, my daily habit, my monthly habit. It's just, I think that's a very green flag for me.
Is that the same as self-awareness?
I think so.
Yeah.
Self-awareness, where you've written down what you want, what you stand for, what you cannot compromise on, your goals for the next. Because if your goal for the next 5 years is, let's say you want to, let's say take a master's, it'll take you maybe a year or 2 years. You know very well that that's not that point in time that you want to date. Or if you're dating, you're not going to compromise on that master's that you want to get. So I guess, it is actually a form of self-awareness, which is very, very sexy.
Yeah.
Self-aware people are very, very sexy. Another green flag
for me would be, listen, these things, I think the way we would have spoken about this 10 years ago is not how we would speak about it now. Green flags in our 20s versus our 30s is very different. So for me, even this conversation, I would say things that I'm not willing to compromise on anymore. Okay? One thing that I feel is such a green flag for me is somebody who is who is living in their passion is too light a word, but living in their passion. They know exactly where their gifts lie, and they're living in that place. They you know how it's so nice to watch somebody doing something they're into. You know what I mean? So that, and I don't know if these two relate, but that and somebody who is able to have a good income. There are people who can be doing things in their passion, like every weekend they just love to go those motorbikes, that bike, or maybe they like DJing, or maybe they like, just you have a passion and you know what your gifts are and you know how to thrive in it. Now it will be a double plus if you're able to, the job that you have. First of all, the green flag I'm saying is having an income, and then knowing your gifts and living in them. So having an income and having a steady income, I think is a green flag for a lots of people and for everybody. Like Benjamin Zulu said, I don't know if it will be, we would say in the previous episode, depending on how we upload these videos, but money, what did he say? Money, the world is about money. What money does make the world.
Yeah, the world doesn't revolve around love.
It revolves around money. Yeah. So I don't look at money as this evil thing that it's a means to an end, guys. It's a means to an end. So for me, it's very important for somebody to have an income and a good income, and not an income where it's unstable, because I've grown up, for example, for me, I've grown up in stability. Thank you, Dad and Mom. But yeah, so it's important for somebody, I can see somebody has figured out how to make an income. I know this is a tough one, especially for entrepreneurs. There's some entrepreneurs who they have a lot of money for maybe 2 years and then they go through a dry season. But I think beyond that, it's like, that's why I was saying I didn't want to separate it so much for living in your purpose, because if you're having a dry year, maybe you're a farmer and this time the crop is bad, that doesn't mean I'll find that a red flag. That's just the nature of the business. But you're still living in your passion and you're still making money out of it, and you're able to contribute to the relationship financially. Yeah, so anyway, those things are so important to me now. I think when I was younger, I used to think...
You can fight it out. You're like, you can fight it out.
No,
we'll make money together.
Yeah, actually it's true. I used to think like that. Me, I was more about the love, not the money. And I think there's still a huge part of me that's like that. I'm very, very, very much into like connection. What connection do we have? Our value systems aligned. Our personalities matching. Our love languages in the same vibration. That's still important to me. But seriously, I cannot be having the best connection and then we're just broke. Like, I'll be so sad. I can't do it, So yeah, money is important and you need to be making your own money. I would love to be making my own money as well. So we come together and we just fuck shit up. Let's make this money. I want to be somebody we can make business decisions with. You're going to look at land, we're going to do nini. Ama we're traveling, somebody who can... Because I've dated somebody who has less than me before, and what I would struggle with was making future plans. For example, even a trip. Like, okay, we want to go to SA. How the fuck do you start planning with somebody? Your friend has invited you. Okay, come to London next year summer. And we'll host you for a week. And you want to go with your person. How do you start planning such things? Those things can be tough. Pesa
can be very tough. Nowadays, I know what I respect also is someone who understands the money season they're in and works towards...
Oh, what's a money season?
Like, you can have a good season. Though you said entrepreneurs, you can make money for
That's actually
a year.
What I wanted to bring up. Yeah.
You can make money for a year and things are beautiful, but you understand that this money season might come to an end and you've planned ahead.
Okay.
Whereby we're in this relationship, let's say we've been living together, you've made that money for the year, but you've paid rent for 6 months.
Yeah.
So when the season elapses, we are still okay. We're not, it was high season and then now you're still very steady in your money season. And also someone who, when they're in a low season, will tell you this is a low season and these are the compromises we have to make, but they're openly communicating that as opposed to going to borrow behind my back, going to just understanding and respecting that season you're in. I think I find that a really a big green flag. Like if we're somewhere and I can afford to pay 30K for dinner and you tell me, Ash, I'm not gonna pay for that. And especially someone who understands the woman, I don't know. Yeah, like it also when the men are the ones who pay or the whatever. Understands that if I start paying for those dinners, I'm going to start Yeah, so I'd rather you tell me. I want to start like
resenting.
in a way, because I'll offer once, twice, maybe, and it's fine, especially if you're taking care of me. But it becomes a regular thing for me now to start providing. It means you are not planning yourself properly, and you're okay with your woman doing that for you. Right now, that's not where I'm at. I need that person to be able to take care of that shit. I don't know. Yeah. I'd rather you tell me I can't afford that and we're not
Boss
doing.
babes also want to be taken care of. Yeah. It's not only what do you say, Atiyama? What is it? Baby, what's the term?
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
Yeah, even boss babes, we still wanna. Oh my gosh, yeah. Even if you're making bank.
Yeah, but I've learned these dualities to baby girling. Like if you want to be treated like a baby girl, you have to treat. You have to live baby girl. Like you get
Live a baby girl lifestyle.
It's not just about her being bought for things, it's about also how you treat your person.
Okay.
For them to be able to be willing to do those things for you. That's
It's
what I've seen.
you reciprocate a lot.
You
like
have
there's
to.
it's like it's a business transaction. I feel like it's a very transactional relationship.
I just wonder how it is
That
to be
life.
kept though. Like what is it that you sacrifice? How does it, okay, of course it feels good, your life is
I
sorted.
think that needs to be a topic. I'd love to know.
Me, I wish
I
we
want
could get
someone
a baby girl.
A baby girl.
To come and say, this is the life I'm living and I am not ashamed of it. Maybe that one we can just do it audio only.
Sure, no, maybe there's someone watching who wants to come and tell us what it is.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's such a nice life. But then what are you sacrificing? There's maybe some freedoms you don't have. There's some things you can't do. It would be interesting to know. But I don't think that's what you were talking about. You were talking about just being pampered by your partner kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And the same thing Benjamin said. If to keep that person in a constant state of pursuit, how are you living for them to keep feeling like? Because you see, when men chase, that's when they are taking out on dates or whatever. How do you keep that guy constantly wanting to take you on those dates and buy you these things and and elevate that? So instead of buying you flowers, they buy you a house, they buy you a lake. There's a conversation I was having the other day where someone was like, we can buy a lake. I was like, we can make a lake. Like you don't have to, because you want a lake. Like, we can make a lake. I was like, oh, must be nice. Must be so nice. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah. But understanding and respecting someone's manicism. My other green flag was stemming from there, but I've forgotten. Do you have one?
For me, a green flag is kindness. Someone who's kind, someone, when we go somewhere, they're not shouting at waiters, talking badly to the guy who's cleaning the car, because, those are qualities that, first of all, you need to see, like, how will such things I look at, how will my kid be raised, So basically, because you're unkind, my child would be unkind. It would be so hard to teach kindness to a kid if they have a parent who is not kind, and just kindness goes a long way in life anyways. So if you're not kind, that's a super huge red flag. I think kindness is just a green flag.
Me, someone who's, I think, especially kind to children. I always say the way to my heart is through my kids. So if you're someone who actively is good to children, or if you happen to meet my children, you want to ask their name, talk to them, engage them. Not necessarily even buying, that act of speaking really makes me think. Yeah, because if you can't go down and want to engage my kids, there's really nothing we're talking about. And this is, as Julia said, this is not just dating, friendship, whatever. If I feel like you're not interested in trying to get to know my kids at all, a green flag is being interested in my kids. Calling and saying, I love how my sisters always say, can we hang out with the kids? That type of thing. It's so endearing. I just feel so good. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's kindness, but me, the way to my heart is definitely through my children. Yeah.
Can I just add on to that kindness bit? Somebody who is good to what we would call support staff, has empathy, is very, 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 it's a green flag, because it shows somebody who, when they come to your house, I want a madarao, like, this is the kind of bread you buy, I'm somebody who is rude, maybe arrogance and pride and kujisikia you're the shit. I think when I was young, I used to find it hot when a guy has a lot of, a bit of ego or whatever. But now I'm just like, that is. That's, somebody who has a black hat, that's how you know from how they treat other people, how they treat waiters in restaurants, how they treat the house help, how they treat somebody who is maybe they're doing better than somebody. So the person who is chini yake, it doesn't even have to be that much of a gap. Maybe I'm driving a Range Rover and you're still driving a Vitz, and there's a way I talk to you because when I say these people who are this guy is so rich, but then you can't even know. It's good if you look good, but what I mean is you can't know if you didn't maybe see his car or see his house because he's so humble. Yeah, I think that's for me, pride and arrogance and somebody who's rude and prideful, I struggle with it. Maybe it just triggers me too much because I'm also quite egoic, but then I don't have maliciousness towards the housey or I have an issue with that because I dated somebody who was very arrogant. But in my mind, I was just like, I'll just talk to him and I used to explain why do you do that? Why do you talk like that to these people? And I just thought it's fine anyway, but now I can't stomach it. There's things that I was not able, there's things that now I'm able to walk away from. Even though, whereas before I was willing to compromise and be like, maybe we can talk about it, maybe we can find a way around it. Now I'm just like, no. Kindness is very important. Pride, how you are when you're doing well as compared to others. How do you move, That's very important because it can affect the relationship. This is somebody who probably will not give you support when you're really, really bad. They only like you when you're doing well. You understand? So, and even how they'll end up treating other family members. When parents are sick, how will they react? When maybe your siblings need help, how will they react? Those things. Yeah, so kindness is important. But that's not, and it's not to say that I'm looking for a perfect person. Yeah, but ukwena utu. Yeah, it's a green flag. Yeah, I think the reason I was really pressing on that is because I used to be attracted to almost a kind of arrogance, a pridefulness. I used to think it was hot, and I'm just like, guy, who was that girl? It was not me. That was a different person. I don't know who she is. She's dead. She's evolved.
But it's arrogance, as you said, towards people, because sometimes I'm thinking someone who, sometimes it's okay to know that you're the shit, but without expressing it in a horrible, mean, disgusting way.
That's not arrogance. Good. That's confidence. Good. Confidence is alluring. But arrogance is different from confidence. Yeah, arrogance and pridefulness. Pride comes before a fall. When somebody is being so proud, just wait. Don't even do anything. Yeah, and I struggle with pride especially in partners. Yeah. Because that's even when you're fighting. Can you imagine trying to be shana with somebody who is prideful? You think they'll ever come and say sorry? Or by the time you do it, you're fought so much, you're conceding. You're just like sour. Yeah, and in fact, it goes to my next green flag, which is something that is such a green flag for me is somebody who is willing to go to this, is comfortable enough to have those uncomfortable conversations. Okay, so if you've done something, but if you're too prideful, there's no way you'll come around and say, yo, man, I've been fucking up. The reason we're like this is because of me. Yeah. So somebody who is willing to be vulnerable in their mistakes and also just be vulnerable to connect. You know what I mean? I'm not pulling teeth to connect with you or to figure out how somebody who is comfortable having difficult conversations, because those I think are so inevitable. Conversations around money, conversations around boundaries in the relationship, conversations around sex and intimacy, conversations about our weaknesses. This is what you do that triggers me. This is what I do. This is what you can do to help me with this. Compromise. The people just don't talk about it. It's like, we'll pray and go to church and leave it to God or whatever. Yeah. So a green flag is somebody who, when you start talking to them, they're able to be vulnerable and they don't see it as a source of weakness. Yeah. Of course, I think there's too much of everything. You don't go and show all your cards at once. Yeah. But imagine meeting somebody who is can be vulnerable and can accept their weaknesses. I don't know. There's just something so nourishing about those kind of connections. In relationships, in friendships, everywhere. Vulnerability. Too much pride, too much need, I don't think it's good.
And you know what you've said about these people that are comfortable having the uncomfortable type of conversations. You get to find that other than them being safe enough to have those conversations with you, people also want to have those conversations with them. Like in a friendship group, for example, that they're the person that someone would call to be like, I'm hurt, and everyone in that group is the person who would trust that particular person to have those conversations. I think that's what, unless I'm completely confusing what it is that you said, I've seen these people who you feel very comfortable to have those discussions with them. People feel comfortable having this discussion with them as well. Yeah, normally I find that so interesting. For me, a green flag is also someone who doesn't give me pressure. Like I like a steady pace in the relationship. And this is coming from me having being a red flag where I was giving someone a lot of pressure in a previous relationship. Where you are in your journey, where you are with your money, where you are with your kids, where you are with your family, it's okay. They're not giving you pressure because they knew by 20th of August 2022 they were supposed to be married. They're not coming here to give that pressure to you. It's that they found you and they're comfortable with who you are, where you are, in your self-discovery, that type of thing. I like steady pace. I don't like feeling like, fuck, I need to do this. I need to learn how to cook. I need to know me. This is the way you found me is the way you found me, and we're going to cohabit and figure it out. Me, I don't like. I like someone who's like, oh, it's okay. Take your time. Take your time. It's fine. No pressure. Like, please don't give me pressure. For me, I think that's a green flag.
Yeah, I like that. For me, another one would be someone who you can have respectful, like, disagreements with, or someone who, when you're fighting, they fight fair. Not someone who is just insulting you. You can't even fight, or you can't bring up a disagreement because you just know they'll tear you up, tear you down, tear you. I think I would say
healthy conflict resolution.
Yes. Someone who you can like resolve stuff like with. Amicably. You won't be crying at the end of that conversation, because there are those relationships that every argument you leave there crying, and you don't even articulate what it is in the beginning, that you don't solve anything. It's just, it just ends badly. So someone who you can respectfully disagree, and you sit and you talk, and at the end of that conversation, even if it's not at that time, mko sawa. Yeah. I think that's such a green flag.
And you decide to both do the work too.
Yes.
Because they're serial apologizers, and they just never change. Just keep saying sorry.
There's something you've said, Ivy, that I think is actually, and I think maybe because I don't know if we're done, it would be a nice way to end this. It's like, you know how you said that was my red flag? Since we are talking about taking ownership and what did I say? Being vulnerable. That was your red flag, giving somebody pressure. Is there something that you ever did where somebody, you were probably, maybe you were also, there's something you did that to them, they recognize red flags in you?
You figure out that, I'm the problem.
Because we're not just saying we're all angels. You don't understand.
We're not.
We're not, yeah. I can think of one for sure. I think I still do it, but I'm working on it. I'm in therapy, okay? Like, I don't know what happens to me, like, when you piss me off. I'm no longer this, like, mature, and it's like I become a 12-year-old. I'm pissed. Like, I fura a lot. So, like, if you piss me off, I have to remember to be like, no, Julia. Like, I have to talk myself into maturity. Yeah, so I can be quite passive-aggressive. Yeah. Like, let's say you're like, I need some time to think. I'm like, you need some time to think? Let's say somebody else, maybe you have beef, and it's like, I need some time to think. I'll be like, I go into my, I don't know, protest behavior, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and that for me, I know is a red flag. I'm getting better at it. Before I didn't even used to see it happening. Now, at least nowadays I can catch myself. Before I couldn't. I'd notice after. Like, I'm like, why did I? Wait. Now when I've calmed down, I'm like, why did I have to nini like this?
To do that,
yeah, at least now I'm able to recognize. So I hope to get to a place now I can catch it even before it gets into that space. I do believe that's my inner child that really just needs to be reassured. working on my inner child. There's a book that my therapist recommended to me, so I need to get that book. But yeah, that for sure is a red flag. Like, just like, you know, just being drama, being petty, because I'm hurt and you must say sorry, or you must bembeleza me. Actually, that's not, what's the word to bembeleza? Bembeleza in English is what? Soothe. No, baby. Soothe is not the word. Kubembeleza mtu ni nini in English?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because
massage.
Yeah. But yeah, I can get like that. I can get like that, like real quick. Yeah, I'm a fire energy, so red flag.
For me, what I realize also in relationships from my red flag is if you feel like you have to pressure someone, that relationship is not for you.
Oh, if you feel like you have to pressure
someone to do something particular or to behave a certain way or to, it's not natural.
Do you know?
Don't think pressure is natural in a relationship.
Yes. Or I think where I relate to that, maybe I've not given somebody pressure like, oh, we need to, I don't know, get married, whatever. But I felt like I needed to put so much effort to change a particular behavior. For example, dating somebody who drinks too much, or maybe consumes too much bangi, you know, whatever. And it's like you're trying to adjust this behavior, and it's so stressful because it's something so small. Okay, drinking too much is not something small, but maybe when they do drink, it's like there's a bit of an overindulgence. I've experienced that, you know. Nairobi, guy, first of all, we need to just check ourselves. Guy, can we drink responsibly in this city? But yeah, so I think that's why I'm relating. Where you feel like you're trying to adjust something, and it's, imagine just a guy.
Yeah, it's never that serious. I've just seen, the natural way of things is for you both to just
flow.
Want the flow.
To
flow the same way, want the same things, whatever. It's if you're forcing and then hiding behind attachment styles, babe. That's something I also learned. Whereby you're forcing things or things are not happening a certain way. That's just the attachment style. Man, that attachment style is not supposed to be an excuse for bad behavior.
No, it's not supposed to be.
I used to, it's just the attachment style. They'll adjust. Fam. They just didn't want to date you. Fam. It's not.
They were just not that into you.
And not just that, exactly. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to avoidance, they can be really into you, but they just have very poor. It is their attachment style, but don't excuse bad behavior.
Yeah, don't excuse. Because if they really like you, they will work towards changing that avoidant thing.
No, they can really like you, but they won't change. They should really want to change it. They should really want to change
for themselves.
For
themselves, not even for you. Otherwise, you'll just be stuck. And then maybe it will now lead into just incompatibility. Like, now I know for sure I'm not compatible with an avoidant. It's fine. You just do what you're doing. I don't know who avoidants date.
They did secure space.
I feel you guys, because me, as an insecure, I am not compatible with an avoidant.
Neither am I, babe. We can't do it. It'll actually drive us mad. It'll drive us mad.
That's taken me back. That was a good point. We've gone like this.
If you're anxious, preoccupied, or you're avoidant, just look for a secure partner. It makes life so much easier when you just flow with somebody and you're in a peaceful state of mind for majority of the relationship. How do you have beef? Okay, so like now maybe, let me ask you something. So like when you're dating a secure, you know, like the difference is, like this is something I had to learn late in my life. When you're dating a secure partner, the fights are like 5%. But then when you're dating an avoidant, it's 80% fixing shit and then 20% being in the relationship. Yeah. Point closed. Next. Red flag. You don't have a red flag?
Me.
Your own red flag. Where you realize, shit, I am the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not good at fighting.
That's not a red flag. That's a green flag.
No, like, I can be quiet in the fight, even if I have something to say. Like, I'm not very good at articulating my thoughts when I'm upset.
Okay.
And I feel like it can just make me not fight at all. Like, I would rather be like quiet and then I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
If I do deal with it.
I wish I had that problem. My life would be much
really
easier.
I feel it's bad sometimes because, you know, when you actually want to talk about it, but then I'm like, it's just too upsetting right now. I'll leave it. And
like you feel like you can't.
But I am the kind of person who wants to solve shit then, you know. So I'm not able to do that all the time.
So is it that you can't formulate the word? As in, how is it difficult?
It's like I feel it and it's in my head, but talking about it, like I think the emotion of it upsets me, like in a way that I'd rather not talk about it in that.
So is it that you'd rather have that person, whatever it is they believe, is right or just it's fine.
Yeah.
So you compromise on how you
I
feel.
compromise on how I feel because I don't want to talk about it, to a certain extent. But I've been trying to unlearn. Now I'm married, I can.
It's like a long-term red flag. It's not like a red flag in the moment. It's like eventually it can help break. I mean, it will break down some things.
Something that I also want to ask our audience to do is talk about in the comment section of this video things that you used to compromise on, but now you don't compromise on because you've learned to maybe love yourself better and you've learned how to be to look for the right things or the green flags in partners and in relationships, whatever the nature.
Guys, I think that's it. Okay, nice, quiet episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten to the end, thank you for your time. Please remember to leave us a comment in terms of what are your red flags? And also what are green flags that absolutely fascinate you when it comes to dating, relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. It's very, very important and we do value your subscription. Share this with someone if you enjoyed watching. I know we've been back for now maybe a few episodes. We're trying to maintain this consistency thing. We'll see how it goes. Till next time. Peace.
Over 25, subscribe.